Stuff here, just got a new software download yesterday. It's interesting, it says it's 2020.4.1, the first update of 2020, but when I looked at the software release notes, there wasn't a whole lot that I saw. Additional vehicle information, that's the one thing that I noticed is different. If you go in here and under your car information, this screen looks different. The picture is different. They're showing you a different picture of the car. And if you do additional vehicle information, it actually will tell you now if you have full self-driving, because that's been a big hassle for some people up until this point. If they had the hardware 3 computer to do full self-driving, now you can just go there and you will be able to find out. It also tells you about your garage door opener, the motor type, the cell identification number, and the audio system that you have in the car. The other thing I noticed was on the app, the image of my vehicle looks different as well. So for whatever reason, they've changed that. Unfortunately, they still haven't given you the option if you have arrow wheels like my car did. It doesn't give you an option to display your car with the arrow hubcap delete, unfortunately, which I'm surprised by. I would think that'd be a pretty easy thing for them to accommodate, but as of now, they still do not have that option. Okay, so I thought that what I would do is, I haven't done this in a little while, just kind of an autopilot check-in to see how much of my commute, my 23 to 24 mile commute, I can do on autopilot. We're going to put it in autopilot right now. Okay, I'm going to keep my hand around the wheel. I'm going to apply pressure when needed to avoid the nags, and I'll be keeping my speed limit or my speed, within 5 miles of the speed limit, and I'm just going to let it on as much as possible. When I take it off, I will say something or I will make a hand gesture or whatever, so you know that it's off. But it's on, and it's going to stay on for as much of this trip as possible, just to give you an idea of how it does in how it's doing now in non-standard autopilot driving conditions. So if I disengage autopilot, I will do this. Changing the lane by itself. Not sure how the enhanced visualizations will show up. This is our, although I've said it many times, this is a hardware 3 car, so you do see the full self-driving visualizations on the screen. Still get a little bit nervous going across wider intersections with autopilot. Once in a while, I still will have that odd behavior where it will start tracking the dotted turning lanes from the opposing lane of traffic, which will make it kind of S through the intersection. Not all the time, but sometimes. Okay, I'm going to be making a left turn up here into the turn lane. I'll try to do it with autopilot. See if this works. Okay, going left. No, it's too dangerous there because you don't have the dotted white line. So off autopilot right now. I'm gonna make the turn using Tesla power. Okay. Autopilot re-engage, setting the speed to the max on this road, which is 45. But typically I will drive this 50 or so, but when you have a speed restricted autopilot road, you need to keep your hand on the wheel at all times, and then you can just apply gas. You can apply the pedal, the accelerator, and you'll just get this nag message constantly. It says auto speed restricted to 45 miles an hour. It'll let you go faster. It will continue to steer for you. it just lets you know that you are exceeding what it will do. It won't brake obviously by itself. So car just lets you know that. Man, how did you like the Tesla stock yesterday? My goodness. It makes me kick myself in the head that I only bought one share shortly after I got the car, just a symbolic share at about, I think I bought in about 220, something like that. I wish I had some more money in that account to play around with at the time, because as of last night, Tesla stock was, after hours, after their second quarter announcements, which were positive, Tesla stock was over 600, 620, 640. It was taking off like a rocket. So yeah, good news, man. Good news on the Tesla front. It's a good time to be a Tesla owner, that's for sure. Okay, killing Autopilot to make the turn.
Golden Gate Boulevard West.
I have the car in hold mode, meaning when you release the accelerator, it will come to a stop and put the car automatically in hold, which is almost like an electronic parking brake, sort of. You know, like if you were on a hill or something, it would literally hold you in place. Got our nice arrow visualization here. And I look out my driver's side window, the arrow is right down there. So it must also be using the side cameras to spot stuff, I imagine. Okay, here we go. Let's get on here. Let's get in this lane and re-engage. Okay, we're going to slow down for a second because this person's turning, but Autopilot is handling this, not me. Okay, but I am going to accelerate. Now, sometimes I will do that. I've noticed that the car does still have a tendency sometimes, when a car is turning out of your lane, that it will be overly conservative and give it more space than it needs to. The car can be totally out of your lane, and it brakes and waits like it's almost like the car is still in front of you. I'm not quite sure why the car does that. It's always done that, more or less. The behavior's gotten slightly less annoying over time, but it still definitely does it. But we are back in Autopilot. When you're exceeding the max auto steering speed, if you don't have your hands on the wheel, you'll get nags constantly. Not constantly, but much more rapidly than you would otherwise. When it comes to braking, when you're coming to intersections, it's a little bit hit and miss. I mean, the car always stops, obviously, but it seems like sometimes the car waits longer than it should, and then applies the brakes in a very strong fashion. Other times it does it more like a human would do it, where you just kind of, you see that the cars are stopped and it kind of just gradually decelerates. So I'm not sure why that is. Like I said, it always stops, but sometimes the G-forces you feel during the stop are stronger than you would experience if you're driving yourself. Okay, disengaging to make this left turn. Okay, re-engaging Autopilot. This is a little different. This is a narrow 2-lane road. Sometimes people's trash cans are rather close to the road. It can be a little tight. One thing I haven't really established with Autopilot is if it will react to something by the side of the road that's close. Like, for example, if a trash can was out into the roadway a little bit, I don't think I've ever noticed the car try to just give it a little space and swing around it. I don't know if anyone else out there has ever noticed that, but I don't think I've ever experienced that yet. Although obviously I've never hit anything on the side of the road, but it's been close. Likewise, when you have big trucks coming at you on these narrow roads, I haven't experienced the car moving over a little bit to give it space, to give the opposing vehicle some space. It seems to want to just stay in the center. Because eventually with full self-driving, you're going to have that awareness, you know. Situational awareness. Okay, coming up to a stop sign.
Right onto White Boulevard.
You can see the stop sign in the full self-driving visualization. But we're going to have to take it off autopilot to make this turn, so let's do that. Autopilot off. And we're going to use Tesla power to pull out here and get up to speed. And then we're going to put autopilot back on. Again, auto steer is speed restricted to 40 miles an hour on this road. Disengaging for the turn.
Now turn left onto Logan Boulevard South.
Send text message to Cindy. Can you check the live traps? I forgot to do it this morning. Voice texting. Another new feature. Still on autopilot. Stop and go traffic, autopilot's great. It will keep you a safe distance from the vehicle in front of you and do all the annoying accelerating and decelerating for you. I hear a lot of beeping going on. Looks like we have a school bus ahead here. What I always find annoying about this scenario when you have a school bus in your side of the road is people don't realize that they should stop when the school bus has flashing red lights. But when it just starts putting on its flashing yellow, that means it's ready to stop. A lot of people think that means that they have to stop right there. They're like, they won't pass the bus when it turns on its flashing yellow, and they can. And it just makes a quagmire, and because not enough people pass the bus when they can, and it just makes traffic a pain in the ass. I got out a little later this morning, a few minutes later than normal, and this is the price that I pay. If I don't get out of the house by a certain time, you wind up getting stuck behind buses. You wind up getting delayed by heavier traffic, so it usually serves my needs to get out the door and on the road before 7 a.m. Hallelujah. Okay, autopilot lane change. Here we go. I've had this for probably almost a month, and I still haven't shot in a video with it. It's a draggy device. I saw one of Dirty Tesla's videos. A friend of his had one of these. It's a timing device to accurately time, 0 to 60s, quarter miles, all that kind of stuff. I want to do some more testing with the Model 3 with this. Just haven't found the time to go out there and set it up.
turn right onto Davis
We're
Boulevard.
tired of waiting. There we go. Okay. Autopilot re-engaged. Down to 79% already. Still not there. Got 3 miles to go. We'll probably be at 78%, maybe even 77 this time. Who knows? Now, right there is an example of a car turning out of the lane and the Tesla slowing down disproportionately, more than it needed to. Autopilot off. Didn't feel like running the red light. For those of you that aren't familiar with the way that the autopilot works, if you don't have a vehicle in front of you, it would just run. It would run a red light, even though it does see them now with the full self-driving visualizations. The car will not stop you. The light is turning red. It only reacts to the car in front of it. So here we go. Accelerate once we get through the intersection. It should allow me to turn autopilot back on again. There we go. Okay, yeah, it'll do this lane change because it's a broken line. And we're going to stop here. Autopilot won't make this turn for me either, so we're gonna disengage it. Down to 78%. By the time I park it, I bet it's gonna be 77. Just not cool, man. I would love an explanation. Engage it. Okay, autopilot on just for this little twisty spot. It's on. Let's see what. I usually don't have autopilot on in this part, but got another stop sign. So we'll turn it off. Okay, we got walkers, we got bikers. Should be able to turn it on. There are speed bumps here. It does not do it. I don't even think it sees the speed bumps, at least on the visualization screen. So it's going to probably just run across them at 24 miles an hour, which is okay. There we go. First speed bump. Does it see anything on here? No, it does not. But it's fine. I'm going to manually speed up and then back off as we approach the speed bump. Still on autopilot. Okay, slowing down. Over the speed bump. Okay.
In 500 feet, turn right
It's
onto
weird,
Harrison
like
Road.
how it doesn't even, like there was a big cart vehicle off to the right there that the visualization doesn't show that at all. It's weird.
Now turn right onto Harrison Road.
Autopilot off.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Espinal Boulevard.
Okay, so all that remains is for me to go into the parking lot, or in the parking garage actually.
Now turn right onto Espinal Boulevard.
You can shut the hell up. Autopilot does not know how to navigate parking garages. Although I've never tried it. I don't know. Maybe I'll on the straightaway, I'll see if it'll allow me to engage it. I doubt it. That would be kind of silly. Nope, you can't engage it. Not surprising. Alright, so anyways, hope you found this interesting. I'd probably use autopilot for, I don't know, 90% of the drive. Come on, lady. Let's go. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, I probably use it for 90% of the drive, and it performed fine. There was no unexpected behavior during that commute, so that's good. If you found this video interesting, please give it a big thumbs up. If this is your first time visiting the channel, please think about subscribing. If you're going to subscribe, you could hit the notify bell that's over there so you're notified of future videos. I have a lot of Tesla Model 3 stuff on my channel. Let's see, what level are we on? Level 2? Okay, good. Feel free to leave your comments, suggestions, ideas, and thoughts below. I always get a kick out of hearing experiences from other fellow Tesla owners, feedback, tips, ideas, all that kind of stuff. It's all very helpful. So that's all I have for you for now. I hope you're having a good day. And until next time, Duffman out. Commute used to always leave me at 80% when I would get to work. 77%.